I honestly trust in the mindset and in the goals of the educators and of the people who are going to apply AI in education. I think this is really the point that we can decide as educators how we're going to apply it, how we're going to prepare our learners, how we're going to prepare ourselves, and what we want to do with it, how we want to use it. And it's really up to us to create a space where it can be used in a safe but also critical way, where we can discuss matters like what is true, what is not true, where to trust, where not to trust what the AI is creating. But I also think that especially generative AI will be beneficial for us in expressing ourselves. So for instance, if we think about tools beyond ChatGPT, about tools like Mindjourney, for instance, where we can create images, I think we can really use these tools to express our ideas, communicate our ideas, imagine things. There are so many interesting examples, for example, in architecture, where we can use these designs to think about very futuristic designs and communicate them to each other in a way that is much more accessible and easy than before, because maybe not everybody has high skills in drawing or painting, but we can still use these tools to express what is in our heads, basically what is in our mind. So I think it will be beneficial on many levels. Also, as support technologies, this is something that is, of course, discussed very often. Technologies that can support learners in a more individual, personalized way. So maybe also creating opportunities to learn not only in some standard settings like a classroom or a school, but making learning more seamless, interwoven with our daily activities, supporting us even more than the technologies before. We had these discussions already before, like using social media, for instance, to connect with others, or using MOOCs to create the opportunities. And I think AI is just one more technology that is adding to this goal that we have to change education, to make it more accessible to everybody and to make it more adapted to our individual needs, and also going beyond the borders of the classroom in traditional settings. So I think it all plays very nicely with other technologies as well. It's really not easy because we don't know what future will bring, and also how the robots will look like. We can only say based on the robots that we have now. And if we think about social robots and humanoid robots, of course, we can dream and envision and maybe use the generative AI to create new designs for the robots. But based on what we have so far and combined with AI, I think there are many exciting applications in the classroom and also in everyday life. So, for instance, the things that we have been doing at my university in the communications lab is using robots as assistants to teachers in the classroom. We can also imagine using robots as team members in teams of students, for instance, when we design collaborative learning. So everywhere where we have groups of students, a robot could not only moderate the group work, but also be one of the team members, maybe presenting a new perspective or adding some new input, or in some way, or maybe disturbing even in the learning process, so that students have to argue and negotiate and be critical in using their critical thinking skills. So this could be also an interesting application. And also, if maybe, and I hope really this will happen, that robots will be more accessible in terms of costs, but also in terms of the skills that we need to program them. So I hope really one day it will be very easy for teachers and for students to program the robots. There will be interfaces and environments enabling everybody to do it in a very easy way. And if this will be so, and everybody could afford a robot one day, then maybe every student could have a robot as a personal assistant, at their desk when they are learning. a robot that is interacting with you, that is supporting you, and maybe in another way than just looking at a screen that is very, it has different dimensions than a robot that can act as a companion, as a social agent, that can express emotions on the face, that is readable to us as humans, that can use the gestures, that can maybe also move in space. So maybe go to the kitchen and get you a glass of water if you look like you need to drink something, you know. So supporting our learning on cognitive level, but also the well-being of us as learners, and checking on different vital signals, something that is also used already in elderly care, for instance. This could be also used more in education. So maybe, you know, if robots could help us keep more work-life balance, kind of checking on us if we work too much and need a relaxation break, or if we learn too much and need just you know, to free our mind and go outside to fresh air, whatever. So this could be something where they could really benefit us as humans. And in everyday life, I think robots could be also super helpful domestic helpers, helping us, carrying different things, maybe paying attention to the schedules that we have. Like, imagine a family with many members, everybody has their own schedule. So if you have the social agent in your house, that could kind of remind you and see if there are any inconsistencies or any conflicts of in your schedules, remind you about this. But also, if you're doing something at home, organizing a grill party, the robot could, I don't know, bring you drinks and help you out and be your butler and your concierge. So there are many different scenarios where this could help. Yeah, and this is like a usual scenario, but also we have, of course, learners and persons with different disabilities and special needs, where robots are very, very helpful, starting with children with autism, for instance, or persons with different physical disabilities, where robots can be really very helpful in many challenging situations that persons with disabilities face every day.